Hey guys, we are continuing our SEO workshop by focusing on getting website traffic. Now, getting traffic can be one of the trickiest parts to getting your website ranked because when you have no experience, no portfolio, you're just starting out, getting people to actually find your site can seem a little impossible, especially because Google tends to rank sites that get traffic. And so without the traffic, how do you rank? And without ranking, how do you get traffic? So we're going to focus on some different strategies to get you that traffic, and it all comes down to one thing that we've talked about already, and that is creating content people really care about. Now, this is the important part. It has to be content that people care about, not content that you necessarily care about or your mom thinks is awesome. It has to be stuff that people are actually looking for, okay? So how are we going to do it and get it out there? Once we have that content, we're going to share it with people who actually care. We're not going to share it with everybody. We're just going to go where the people are who actually care about what you have to say, what you have to share, the resources you are creating. And if the resources are good, they will get shared by those people. And all of a sudden, you have people visiting your website and finding you through their friends, and everything is one big happily ever after, okay? So how are we going to do that? We're going to come up with content that answers questions, that solves problems, and provides entertainment. One of these. It doesn't have to be all three in every post, every piece of content you produce, but those are generally how we make shareable content. Does it answer a question that people haven't been able to find an answer for? Or does it answer it in a better way than they've been able to find so far? Does it solve a problem they're having? Perhaps you bought this course because you are having a problem getting leads, getting bookings, and that's why you bought this course. Well, that's because it solved your problem. And does it provide entertainment? Let's say I told really hilarious jokes or you found a funny GIF, you would share that simply for the entertainment value. So that can be another strategy as well. So once we have that content, we are going to go where your people hang out. It's as simple as that. We take that content, we share that content where your people are hanging out. So here's a few ideas of where those people are hanging out. Pinterest, forums, Facebook groups, and Reddit groups. All of these are traffic gold mines that if you use them properly, if you have the right kind of content, can bring you so much traffic and start this great Google wheel spinning. Okay, so we're going to dive in and look at them one at a time, different methods for each. We're going to break down Pinterest further in an intensive workshop in the future, but for now, let's just hop over here and demonstrate again on my feed right here because I pin a lot of wedding-related stuff. I've got all sorts of wedding-related imagery, but all you have to do is just search for wedding planning or a topic that is somehow relevant to your business, and 9 things for guests to do between ceremony and reception. So that's a great idea. It's obviously being shared because it's at the top of the search. So I could go in and I could go ahead and make my own. I could call it, 17 things to entertain guests at your wedding. And I could go through and find a bunch of different objects or items or activities or games that brides can make, and I would make a post that would round up all of those things. And then I would create a nice pin like this. I would pin it onto Pinterest, and people would eventually find it. Now, when you're making a pin, what's really important is that you put your information in the pin, that you're also adding a title and making an engaging image, and you're adding it to a board, hopefully that is something to do with whatever topic that is. So if I had let's undo that. So if, for instance, I was trying to target family photography, I would perhaps create a family photo inspiration board. I would create another board that was preparing for your family photo session. And if I was doing weddings as well, I would create one that was, planning your wedding or do-it-yourself weddings. And I would have all sorts of pins for that and create articles around that. Okay, so that's the Pinterest strategy. You simply post it. And honestly, this has gotten me 80% of my traffic when I was starting out. It was as simple as, let me show you an example. When I first started out, let's do IKEA wedding. Here we go. Truly brilliant IKEA wedding hack. So I saw this idea on Pinterest that was things that you could do from IKEA for your wedding. And so I created my own post. I found a few different items on IKEA that were really great that people were using for their weddings, and I just shared them. Now, you have to be careful how you're doing this. If you're doing it on IKEA, you're not going to get sued for using their images without permission because you're linking to their site and selling their stuff. However, I have gotten into trouble by being a stupid idiot and not using images with permission. You do not want to do that. So make sure you're using images that have permission or are royalty free. You can head to a site like unsplash.com. That's all royalty free images. And let's say I needed a picture of a table. I could go through and grab a picture of a table and download it from there. And I need to make sure that I resize it, again, for our SEO purposes, to make it nice and small on my site. But anyways, I made this, then I created a pin, and that pin got shared hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And all of a sudden, I was ranking my website for totally unrelated content, and all of a sudden, my other keywords that I was actually wanting to rank for started going up, 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 up. So it doesn't take much. Only 4 or 5 awesome posts, if they go viral, will truly skyrocket your rankings. So that is a great way to get traffic by doing that. So if you do one of those a week, you will be in the money. Next is Facebook groups. So it's as simple as going onto Facebook, find your area. So I'm in the Okanagan, so I'm going to look up Okanagan brides. Or again, whatever group would represent your customer. And here we go. We've got groups. I can go to see all. And if you're in a larger area, you'll probably have more groups to look for. But I've got Okanagan Bridal Swap. That's only got 9 members, 8 members. But this one has 782. So I can go here. And hopefully, once I join this group, there will be a way for me to come up with some kind of content. So it could be 10 different bridal items you can get for under $100, or something better than that. Go onto Pinterest, find an idea, or just see what questions people are asking. And if a bride is asking a question, hey, what do you think about this? I'm having trouble finding XYZ. You can answer that right on here. And in addition, hopefully once in a while, link to your website, provide a resource, provide an article, provide insight, and that is a great way to generate traffic. Next is Reddit board. So I've gone onto Reddit, and all you have to do is type in your business topic. And you're going to need to make a Reddit account. And then you can see we've got all of these groups. And look at that. Wedding planning, 82,200 subscribers. That is money. So I click on there. I can subscribe to the group and go through and just see what's happening. What are people asking? What problems are people having? How can I solve them? So here we go. I'm looking through here. This is interesting. Somebody posted that. 48 comments, and I'm looking for stuff that is getting engagement. So what I could do is simply sort by, let's say, top posts. Took a huge risk and bought a non-refundable secondhand dress on Tradesy. It fits almost perfectly. Didn't even get it to try on before I bought it. I'm in love. Okay, so could I make some kind of variation of this? I could do a post on thrift store dress finds, or I could do a post on how to find the perfect dress used, or how to save 90% on your wedding dress, and then I could post that in this group. Now, certain groups aren't going to allow you to do that blatant promotion, that sort of a thing, but what they will allow is for you to post your information in this post, let's say, and add flair to your username. So under your username in certain groups, you're allowed to actually have your website in there. And what that's doing is creating a link to your website. So somebody reads this awesome article I've just written on finding a dress for 90% off, and then they click on my website, and bam, traffic is generated. So that's an amazing way to reach people. And finally, we have online forums. So it's as simple as looking up, for instance, I'm in Kelowna. I could look up Kelowna Wedding Forum. Now, I'm in a small city, so there might not be any Kelowna wedding forums here, but we've got Wedding Wire, for instance, looking for affordable venues in the Kelowna area. So what I could do is I could write my post, or I could even take the post I've already created on Kelowna wedding venues, and I could reply to this and simply say, hey, here's a link. I've put together all of the top venues in Kelowna. Check it out. And now what I've done is I've directed any bride who comes here and sees this particular post will see my answer, helpful as it is, click through to my website, and hopefully wind up either sharing my post, giving me more traffic, or even booking me for photography if it works out, right? So that is 4 simple ways that you can go ahead and start creating traffic now. It's not about just posting photos and hoping for people to show up, or applying SEO strategies and just hoping people show up. You have to actually do something to start the ball rolling. So these are 4 great strategies. If you do a couple of links per day, a couple of posts per day, just answering people's questions, linking to your site, you will start to see huge results, because what happens is I answer this question, this link is on there, and it lives there forever. Now, anytime somebody sees it, bam, they click this link, go to my website. I'm getting a small little drip of traffic here. Then I would have a post in Reddit, and that's a small little drip of traffic. And all of a sudden, all of these tiny little drips all over the internet not only are giving me backlink juice, which is good for Google SEO to begin with, but also giving me steady, consistent traffic. And trust me, as a result of doing this, my website receives 10 times the traffic of what most photographers do. And because of that, I find I'm continually getting more backlinks as people share my content, and I am getting better rankings. So that is the way to do it, guys. 4 awesome ways to generate traffic for your website. It's time to go out and apply it, okay? So we're going to do 1 to 2 of these per day for the next 7 days. That's all you have to do. Go ahead, work on creating some content that is shareable, that people care about, and then share it with people who actually care, not just randomly on your Facebook and hope that people will find it. You have to go out to groups of people who already are interested in your topic, okay? Do that, answer their questions, solve a problem, or provide entertainment. It could be as simple as going through here. And if I scrolled long enough, I'd probably find a hilarious ad or a comic or something like that, and I could remake that in Photoshop and share it on Pinterest, right? Or I could remake that and share that right on here. So it's as simple as finding content that's already working, that's already solving problems, and creating something newer, better, updated, more thorough. Okay? Go out, execute, and I will see you in the next one.